possibility, and it's going to be a Spectre. So Lifestealer doesn't hate life against a Spectre. Like, he's okay, mainly because he just comes online a little bit sooner. But you know, that mid game is where Spectre is really going to shine, from the, let's say, 25 to 40 minute mark, and then Lifestealer starts to come back into his own a little bit.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like the rest of the team, though, against Spectre, you're not really going to love life. Lina, this kind of squishy range hero, is very position-based, and you have this Haunt that instantly get on top. Mag as well, you know, someone who's kind of reliant on this Blink to be able to set up for the RP, and Haunt is notorious for being able to deal with any kind of heavy Blink initiation heroes here. So at least the Lifestealer is going to have a relatively decent time, but the issue is the Lina and the Mag. We could see that Haunt really be a bit of a nuisance for them.
With a Bloodlust, by the way. So if they were having a hard time before, it's going to be even more so.
Dire team pick.
And a Phoenix. Yeah, that's pretty good. So leads us to believe that either one of these, Lina and Magnus, are going to be core roles. Phoenix can fulfill that that hole that might be missing in the team, but I don't think for this draft in particular.
10 seconds.
They do pick the Phoenix into a Mirana and an Ogre. I mean, Mirana naturally very good at being able to deal with it because of the leap attack speed, and I like Ogres at least to support because you're just going to buff up everyone's attack speed as well, which is a great way to deal with the Supernova. So, you know, we'll see if the positioning, you know, you've got the Mag, the Lina that can protect it, but the follow-up, like, it's still going to be difficult with these are stuns that aren't easy to find the connection. So Team Dog, if they can just kind of play around with the mobility, maybe like disengage if they don't want to fully commit to the Supernova.
At least until they've got that, you know, obviously the Blink and Abyssal on the Lifestealer, that's going to be the key thing for them. I mean, if they can get lucky with a Clumsy Net as well, that can be quite nice with this Phoenix. So we will see. But Phoenix, obviously, one of those things where they're kind of hedging their bets a little bit. A very strong support when it gets into the late game, and a good way of trying to deal with a Spectre. Assuming that Spectre isn't just getting on Phoenix and making his life hell. And the first Void Spirit, I think... No, we've seen one more, right?
Yeah,
throughout
I think Bob played it yesterday.
Yeah. But very good hero. And certainly loved within the Southeast Asian region. So I'm keen to see. Lots of potential for big plays to happen, and you would have to assume that it's Abed's hero, and, you know, what better way to see the high MMR plays than with a hero that has a high skill ceiling.
10 seconds remaining.
And it's going to be a really nice way to be able to set up for the arrow as well. You got this Yules to the 8th Remnant, very nice kind of combo for the Mirana, so they can kind of play together as this kind of gank train and constantly catch out some heroes across the map.
This, the thing for me is Void Spirit into either a Lina or a Magnus isn't that good. Like, Magnus can dominate him quite well in the laning stage, just because you are beefier, you have a stronger right click. You know, you're just using right clicks as opposed to mana to farm a lot of the time. And Lina as well, you've got the range, you can just shove waves in, you can harass him underneath the tower without any sort of fear of being turned around on. So maybe this Void Spirit's going to be an offlane Void Spirit. Maybe it's Ice Ice Ice, unless Abed has supreme confidence in his ability to win this lane, despite having, you know, let's say, like a 35-65 probability of winning matchup.
Well, there is flexibility with that, exactly right. Like seeing Ice 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 play the Void Spirit, we've more than likely on the 2, but there are some players who have this incredible high ceiling of still being able to play the Void Spirit in a position 3 role. So that's at least a nice thing with this amount of flexibility, where it always comes into play in the draft. I mean, they don't have this ultra last pick, so it's going to be more than likely revealed. But at the moment, looks like they're banning out a couple of the offlane heroes here, so they get rid of the Bloodseeker, get rid of the Legion.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe just to say that it is the POS 3 for both teams. I'm really not feeling confident about this Void Spirit matchup into either the Lina or the Magnus if it is Abed's hero. So what is left? There's a Tide Hunter left in the pool, which could be pretty decent with the Phoenix. Haven't seen any Treant. I mean, Treant Phoenix is a pretty good combo as well, but they actually get rid of the Tide themselves.
A nice classic, and just, I guess, a little bit of team fight.
Radiant team pick.
What do they go for? They go to the Darks here, okay.
New Hero Pog Champ, let's go.
It's with a... Is this... Do you want to lane the Darkseid with a Mirana? Don't you want a double melee? This can't be a Void 4, right? Like, just no chance?
10 seconds remaining.
It's possible. I'm trying to think of what it actually accomplishes here, and it's a Storm
You may now
Spirit, okay.
select your heroes.
So how are they going to go about laning this? Is it a Mag 3? Yeah, so it's a Mag 3 going into the In Your Dream Spectre. Ice and Arfu, you would have to assume Paulson is still going to be playing that 4 role. Abed is mid, and, I don't know, I really felt like they had a winning mid matchup just with this Magnus or Lina. And based off of the bans that Team Dog were making as well, they were assuming the same.
So, I mean, this Storm Spirit, though, in this matchup, it feels like, at least the lane, I'm pretty sure it's still going to be relatively difficult here for the Void Spirit. I mean, just a melee going on top of the lane with the Remnant and just eating the Overload procs. As the game goes on, though, I'm a big fan of Void Spirit against the Storm. You got the Yules to set up. The Storm Zip has a little bit too long of like a cast animation, so it's very easy for Yules heroes to be able to find that setup into the stun, and then you're going to eventually build the Aghanims, which just gives you further control as well. And your level 6 at least jump potential is a lot more. You can utilize it more effectively early, just because the Storm really requiring a higher mana pool.
Yeah, I can agree with that. What Bob needs to be doing as well is getting super active as soon as the Lifestealer gets even just his first item. Like this armlet is going to be a big timing for Vice Esports. The thing I'm a little concerned about is that, you know, if Abed chooses to just straight up rush the Aghanim Scepter, you can get it in 14, 15 minutes if you're on point with your farming patterns and, you know, just playing really well in the lane, which we know he's very, very capable of doing. So we'll see what he opts to go for. I think both options are perfectly viable, both the Yules and the Ags. But it's just up to personal preference for a lot of the time. I am going to take a moment to take off this hat because it is damn hot.
I mean, Australia's summer is always
Prepare
can
for
get
battle.
pretty hot out this way, especially when
It's like I just walked into a fridge. It's so nice.
you know, pump that aircon.
It's gone. Yeah.
So what do we got here? Let's see. I mean, Vice Esports up against Team Dog. It's going to be our third series of the night. Is there... Let's go for the prediction here. Is there a team you're favoring?
I mean, you have to go with Dog, right? Like, they're filled with so many talented players. I would have felt a little bit differently if they did stick with either the Lina or...
Oh my... No, that's horrible. That's actually probably the worst thing that could happen. He levels Dive, which is just useless
dies.
level 1, and still dies. And Abed also gets first blood. Oh no, that's
30 seconds
not
to
a
battle.
good way to start.
So yeah, I'm going to go with Dog. I'm just... Something about this game makes me feel like they're going to win.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's a bit awkward there, unfortunately, but nice little start there from Team Dog. They get first blood, give it over to Abed. It's gonna have, what's he got coming out? Looks like he's got a stick and a salve as well, so a lot of regen to kind of keep himself afloat for the Storm, who's going to be spamming out some of the abilities. And Arfu even steals the rune as well, so at the moment it's going to be a 3-for-1 with the first blood for the boys on Team Dog.
Gotta be happy with that. I mean, with Abed, a lot of these cores, they make life a little bit easier. They quick buy all of their items that they're going to have for the first 20 minutes of the game at the very start. Not him. He's just like, oh, I guess I'll get a bottle. Doesn't give me anything to work with. I want to sound smart, damn it.
See how he's actually going to end up faring in this matchup. He already used the Resonant Pulse, so might not be able to secure actually the range creep. Never mind. He does have that damage advantage versus the Storm Spirit though, just thanks to the Calling Blade, so it's always going to feel pretty nice here. You know, we'll take a look at some of the other lanes. What do we got? So it is going to be the Darkseer with a range 4. A lot of time you really want to play the Darkseer. ISS actually got Vac level 1.
Alright. What did he use it for? Is he like
Literally, he just
trees or
he literally just vacked them both back and did a little bit of damage, and that's all I really saw.
was it to deny a range creep maybe? No, he's 1 and 0. Okay.
So, he's just
Maybe I'm
cruising.
missing a couple of these, yeah.
See how much he's able to get underneath
He's
the tower.
diving already.
Yeah, I mean, Zenki's got dives, so that potential is not really there. Still trying to keep an eye on mid though, as Arbed and Bob are both incredibly weak at the moment. Arbed just got a Salve at least to utilize, so he's going to be able to get out of range there. Yeah, you see the aggression, and top as well. There's a bit of a battle coming through to try and block up this camp here, but Arfu might be in trouble, unfortunately. Skills away from the Lina, so it's just kind of Enru right clicking him down. I mean, Ogre's already a pretty difficult hero to kill nonetheless.
You can see here good what, dives happening. Ice, he should be fine. He's had to TP all the way back to base though.
Is Bob just... he's just that remnant. And they are, these two heroes are playing with fire. They're so incredibly weak. The Spirit Brothers, and I mean, we'll see. Arbed's going to get a little bit of mana now, but yeah, it's just a battle back and forth.
On the Razor's Edge. That's the thing with Bob as well. You can tell that he really wanted to get that that return first kill onto the Storm Spirit. Oof, this Phoenix ain't doing shit.
Yeah, top lane as well.
After getting that Icarus time.
Arfu. Fire Blast, and it looks like with the slow as well from the Ignite. But yeah, I mean, what do you do with level 1 dive? Like, that's the thing. You know, it's 2 deaths for you. I mean, you're going to come back to the lane, at least give some items for Palos, but he's been shoved out of the lane. So look at the creep equilibrium. Ice farming under the tower. Meanwhile, Mirana's just stacking up the jungle. Like, it's just, they're getting a lot out of the map right now.
We're finally able to de-ward that that small camp, so the pull potential is back now for Zenki. If he makes the move right now, he needs to fix how this lane is going, but you can see, like you mentioned, Mirana making the move towards mid. Not quite yet level 6 here on Bob, so he needs to be a little bit careful. He's got complete vision though of as he walks underneath the Radiant Observer ward. He's still there though. Oh, no. He's even doing little things like right-clicking him as the bottle regen happens.
He's already going up against Arbed, which I guess the Void versus the Storm, he's looking pretty good at the moment for the Void Spirit. Usually I'd put it a little bit favored for the Storm, but you know, Arbed being one of the most gifted mechanically mid lane players, and getting a little bit of help with Polo coming over as well. But we're gonna have the fight for these power runes. Radiant, if they can get their supports there fast enough. Zenki's coming, but now even Bob's going to be careful as well here, because they can set up for the stun with the arrow. They're going to drag him back. Gets the arrow connection. Perfect timing with the LSA. Where's the follow-up? The Fire Blast going to be able to prevent the follow-up damage from Lina. Still only level 2, so without the Dragon Slave, it looks like they should be able to get an extra kill. LSA trying to play around with it. Does get at least a connection now, but still... they're going to try and continue the chase for the last right clicks. One more from Polo. The Tango regen is enough. Tries to eat that remnant too, but... alright.
Nice little plays there, getting the Tango regen. He ate the tree for it and wasn't too trigger happy with the Light Strike array, making sure he guaranteed the hit onto 2, and the tower regen just giving him that little bit of extra armor needed to survive through it all. So nicely done. I mean, it's 5 minutes in. Yes, it's 0-3, but it's only a 1k net worth advantage. It's not the end of the world, and Palos is having a pretty decent time here against Ice.
Yeah, at least is the good lane that's coming through from Vice at the moment, and that's always, it's going to get amplified as well, considering you know, you have this potential as well with the Magnus, where Polo could be in trouble. Is going to try and leap away into the TP out. Vac actually keeps Palos on the high ground. He's just going to insta TP, but it still forces out the TP though, nonetheless.
Yeah, that's 90 net worth just lost right there, just from doing that. And you know, maybe it opens up as well the rotation that Abed might want to make through there. You know, if you get a kill onto the Lifestealer, now he's going to have a lot slower time getting back to lane. Maybe trying to make something happen around these siege creeps, but you can see Arfu, he's just making the rotation through to mid to join together with the Void Spirit.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, they're going to be able to link up with Polo coming as well. So just this, you know, we've seen the Ogre and the Mirana be the threat of being able to set up for that arrow.
They know though. He pinged right inside this trees area, so he knows the Ogre's there waiting for him. He backs off. Some nice heads-up play there from Bob.
Meanwhile, this is just allowing Ice to solo. I mean, without any stuns, he's always got this escape potential with the Surge. Now, Bob's in trouble. Arrow's gonna miss. Can it bring him down before he gets underneath the tier 2 tower? This is an incredibly deep dive, and Arbed, he doesn't have any more ultimate charges to be able to utilize as well, but Bob's gonna be careful if he walks back forward, because Polo's gonna hunt. They get the Vortex now with the tier 2 tower. Bob, nicely done. Arbed tries to secure the kill with the Resonant Pulse, but that's not enough. If he wants to chuck out the Remnant, looks like he's protected to a couple of bottle charges. Oof, at least he does get...
Yeah, it would have been really nice for Bob if that spawned on the top side, but Abed's going to get lucky this time. Still,
Yeah.
nice little turnaround. And with that, he's essentially leveled things out, although if he dies here, it's not the case.
LSA finds the connection. Abed, gotta be careful. He's got some one charges. Let's see if he can turn.
wow.
But Bob, with the help of the Lina there, is going to be able to bring down the Void Spirit. So Abed playing with fire. Meanwhile, they drop the wall down bot as well. Palos. They still got the Infest. At quarter HP right now, but it's like just the wall used for naught, and mid Arfu even finds a kill on Bob. So Bob will still fall.
How does that happen, by the way? Just
I mean,
walks up to him. I don't think he even used the stun, right? He just was the ignite.
Yeah, just the ignite. Just a good old level 2 ignite. And I mean, honestly, like, we've seen a lot of the Veils picked up relatively early for the Ogre, and this could be relatively
Radiant's
decent
courier has been
with
killed.
the heroes that have a lot of the spell damage.
Well, more rotations. It just feels like the entire game is being played on Vice's side of the map. I cannot remember a time where any of Vice just made a venture in onto
Radiant's
the other
middle
end.
tower is
It's
under
just so much
attack.
pressure, and it shows
Radiant
the difference
structures
between
are
the level of
fortified.
quality that you've got from these teams. Not that Vice is a bad team, let's say, but Team Dog is just a level above.
Let's just see how much emphasis they're putting right now on trying to hinder the Storm Spirit. Highlighted that level 6 dip in. He just eats the Remnant. I mean, he's got a little bit of
haste.
mana, but it looks like he's still got to be careful with the Fall Fire Blast, Bob. Try and look to turn. Gets a Vortex drag back into the LSA. Abed, can he get anything up with the Dissimulate? RP, gonna drag him back with the Shockwave. Now chucks out that ultimate. Ice. He's gonna show up as well. We've already popped the back, but now with the Fire Blast, Bob still got mana. He's gonna be able to dip out, and he's got some health to come back in as well. So just a back and forth goes the Storm Spirit. He's gonna be careful though, because he's falling low, and he's gonna end up ticking out to Ice. So it's a 1 for 2 now with the Haunt coming up. It's a beautiful wall with that Star Storm. Zenki dives on cooldown for an extra 5 seconds here, and he's gonna get chased down. They want Enbrew as well, so the cleanup crew comes out. Polo gets a double. Even the Spectre trying to get involved as well.
And then Ice uses his army of illusion minions just to take away some of this farm again. The entire game played
Radiant's
on
top
Vice's
tower
side of the
is
map
under
and
attack.
taking away some of these comeback mechanics that they had. He's been playing well, but Bob that time around just getting a little bit too keen, walking back into the Ion Shell.
Lina's in trouble. Bob's gonna try and zip forward. They get the drag back, and Ice House is completely out of mana here, and Polo's just gonna be like, alright brother, there's no hope I can help you out to keep you alive, so we're just gonna TP you out and let you die.
Abed's man fighting against Palace on the bottom side, but Palace doesn't really care all that much. Has to pop the rage though, so little wins coming from Abed.
Rage not down though, like he's just gonna farm up the jungle, so recognizing that Abed's got a bit of a opportunity to be able to get the kill, but Palace, it's gonna be alright. So Team Dog, they've been able to accumulate about a 2,000 to 1,000 net worth lead at the moment. We do still see though that the Life Source had an incredible laning stage, and this is going to continue getting buffed up. Mag has this maxed out in power. We haven't seen him play around the Life Sword just yet to increase that farm. And Palace are going to try and set up for the arrow. Only 1 point in that remnant, so just a poor duration. Not as high as what they were hoping for. And meanwhile, Bob's hunting. He snagged away the regen with the Vortex drag back. He's going to be able to pop that. He doesn't get too much mana for it, unfortunately. Now, yeah, Palace down bot will pay the price. Meanwhile, look at the space that Arfu, I mean, it just allows him to get the kill on top of the life steal, and he's just zoning out this completely Moonlight Shadow. And now they've recognized that Bob doesn't have too much mana. I mean, he'll get a bottle refill thanks to the bounty.
Oh no.
But they're hunting. I mean, arrows available. Let's see if they get connection with the drag back. Can they bring him down throughout the stun duration? Arfu's going to try and get in range for the fire blast. We've got a little bit of distance. Follow up as well. Can pop in the main go.
It's not too much committed though onto it all. I suppose the one bonus is that Enryu, he's just continuing to farm away. He's getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger. He also was able to snipe the courier that was heading towards Ian Dream previously, so he's still waiting on his boots, that completed magic wand. But he's still got the Blade Mail and he's farming up this gigantic ancient stack.
Polo trying to TP in top and just delay this. You saw him deal with the catapult, but I mean, mid, they need to defend the tower. Yeah, there's such an important objective across the map, but as it forwards, it's going to give them some space with the random, but it looks like Arfu's still in trouble. The Ogre's been posturing so aggressively. I mean, looks like they're going to be able to keep that T1 tower alive mid, but you know, they still don't get top though. Ice is going for Boots of Travel. I haven't seen the Dark Sea much
Radiant's
recently.
bottom tower is under attack.
I think that's just Ice things. I don't think you need to put too much thought into it all.
Okay. I'm like, Ice. Is this a common thing we're seeing the Dark Sea right now?
After you saw the level 1 vacuum, what were you expecting?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's got 4 points in it. He's just an innovator, to say the least, on the position 3. And you see Dire just back to mid. They really want this tier 1 because they know that Radiant, how important it is to just be able to protect the objective and really try and slow the game down to utilize this mag in power. Because right now, Pelos, I mean, he's getting a fat stack, which is underneath vision at the moment. But Dire, they're going to smoke up. It's going to be a little bit too late to contest.
Is it though?
See, Farbid wants to jump.
He's going to be the one that scouts it out, you would think.
If they get the stun from Arc Food before the Fire Blast, now with the arrow follow-up as well, beautifully timed. They even get the Lina too. Nice combo and up to the northern side on top of the lane in your dream. Drag back Bob, but I don't think you can get this kill with the Blade Mail Dispersion. Look, it just... Oh, no.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just a
Your
laugh
dream's
on
like,
the thing.
thanks for bringing the money to me.
Structures are fortified.
Well, now that's another really important tower. That's going to be all the tier 1s if they're able to get it. I mean, Spectre's not the greatest tower sieger early, but it really just offers up more opportunities to infiltrate through the jungle. You see Polo even body blocking the Ancient. So Team Dog are just recognizing like how they need to pressure early on to really make Vice's game difficult.
Yeah, you've got a Magnus, so obviously you're going to be relying on things like Ancient stacks to be able to keep up with a Spectre that just all that he needs to do is buy Blade Mail, and then he's got his own Ancient camp perfectly fine. And, you know, things like that, you know, just blocking it, making sure you've got vision with this nice deep Observer Ward as well. You can see, is that catching it? I think it might just. Yeah, there we go. It's on the left side, so not a traditional place that you place the ward, but they got him a couple of kills, so well worth it, even after it gets denied. ISS is probably going to go down.
I mean, he drops the RP. DP rotations are coming through, and now this
not gonna
dive
live,
might
okay.
get punished. He also doesn't have a TP, so the life stealer, I mean, there's some rotations coming out from Vice as well, but it looks like he's ultra dead. They dropped the supernova directly on top of them. It doesn't give the space for the life steal. Now they're going to try and turn it, deal with the egg as well. A couple more racks, they're unable to. Now with the long step forward, Bob is going to join the fight straight on top of Arbed, but it looks like with the multicast, Arbed might try and look to turn with the remnant. They get the kill. It's going to cost him his life, and even Lena showing up too, so Dire, they end up losing 4.
ISS is still microing.
Oh,
He
no,
wants
went
something.
back.
Dire's
we go.
top
Okay.
tower is under attack.
This is a little bit wonky. I mean, In Your Dream didn't have the Haunt, unfortunately. So, I mean, they do get a 4-for-3 trade in the end.
Radiant's bottom tower
This must be
is
like the
under
most
attack.
chill game that In Your Dreams are like, oh, okay, I can just sit back and farm. He's probably just got some tunes playing in the background, bobbing his head nice and slow, cat jamming away.
Cat jamming. What do you, like, don't take a look at the win probability. What do you think it is right now? What would be your guess?
70% to Team Dog.
Got him 95.
Oh.
95.
Oh, I was on the right side of the 50-50 at least.
Yeah, I mean, but that much? Like, god damn, that's I would not expect them, honestly, to at least be that far ahead from Dota Plus, but they're looking like they're in a pretty comfy spot. And about to have the Haunt as well, to be able to group up. We've seen just the constant plays with this, you know, gank train coming out, and mid Bob, gotta be careful. If Ice can get the Vac back into Arfu, Bed's actually going to be able to catch him. There's the Ewer Scepter coming into play. He's ultra dead. There's a couple rotations, but they won't be there fast enough. And this is this Ewer Scepter factor against the Storm Spirit. It's just such a nice way to set up for the Remnant. Then you've got the follow-up stun coming through from someone like the Mirana, the Ogre.
You can just see they're completely enabling Arbid. Even Ice Size, who have they found now? Zenki, he's dead meat.
He's got the egg, but it's not going to matter. We'll bring it down nonetheless, even if he gets it off. And it's just an extra kill with the bottom lane getting shoved in. Mid lane's already shoved in as well. And this is a game that they're sitting incredibly comfortable at the moment. With the Catapult, they'll do a little bit of chip damage to a tier 2, even without having the Ages, which is always, all the time, very important to actually posture this aggressively on a tier 2 mid.
And any sorts of these pickoffs are just hyper effective because they've even gone things like the he's gone on Twin Illusion.
Well,
they've even got things like a Veil here.
Gotta be careful as well, because Lifesteal has already popped the rage, so him running mindless into the fight, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but the LSA holds 2 back. Bob still falling out with skill. Very nicely done. They all get out in your dream with the dodge. Polo with the leap away, and now they're gonna try and look to dive up the tier 3 tower. Do they want to continue? One, however, that's the question. Dragging the fight back. The Sunray's doing a lot of damage here from Zenki, but it looks like Dire, they can go back, and if they want to, Bed Remnant drags it back. They get the first for the bonus health, but the arrow's on the mark. Mag will pay the price, and now Polo's gonna come through. He doesn't have any leap charges. Without the stunts, they can just reset. So 3 down on Vice, and let's see, Polo? Arrow's up in a couple of seconds here. Palace actually got to be a bit careful.
It just felt like that supernova came way too late. Have a look at all of the Dire heroes. They're sitting all below 50%. So if that came out, even if it was in a crappy position, you've got the capabilities to then follow up on all the heroes.
Going top. Not again. Not again. The Blade Mail Dispersion. Is that the Orchid?
He got the kill though on In Your Dream. That is worth it.
It's a lot of gold. 607. He doesn't get the experience, which he's level 11 right now on Storm. But yeah, like you said, I mean, that's a big kill because In Your Dream, top of the net worth, getting closer at least towards the Orchid for him.
He's got the Manta now complete as well. On In Your Dream, he just needs to...
Abed actually might be in trouble here to simulate to try and farm up, and the Lina perfectly places that LSA, so the instant pause from Abed.
Just some lag, That's all it is. Some tips from the teammates as well.
Love the look at all synergy that we're trying to see come through from the duo on EG that we'll see eventually once the DPC starts. But what's the shining spot right now from Vice? I mean, they're down 4,000. Is it the fact that the lifesteal is doing incredibly well with farm, or?
Honestly, I wouldn't even say he's doing it that well. Like, he's got a magnet.
That's true.
He should be at the top of the net worth charts. That's not to take anything away from Palace. A big part of that was, due to the good work of that Deep Observer ward. By the way, they put another one down on that tri-camp sort of area, so they should be able to scout out a lot of this this farming potential that they've got here on Vice's side. But I think the fact that they're just going toe-to-toe within the team fights is encouraging. It's just a matter of if they were taking things even just slightly better, they would be in a much more advantageous position, right? Like, even taking the tier 1 tower feels like a big success that needs to happen.
Lina showing mid, and they just dropped the wall, and it's like, it's gonna be fine, although he's taking a lot of damage to this Ignite Veil. They're even gonna chuck out the arrow, which will be off the mark. But you take a look at Dire's vision right now, how aggressive it is kind of through the jungle, the mid lane, and even around the triangle as well. So really trying to pressure out Vice and not continue to play like a passive game where they're able to utilize the Empower.
I think, is anyone getting a pipe? Enrio's nearly finished with his mech on Vice's side, because you talk about the Veil, that was a really nice early timing, by the way, by Arfu, but look at all the magic damage that they have. Like, let's just discount Spectre for a second. All those 4 heroes are essentially pure magic damage that is coming through. So the mech's going to help, but a pipe on top of that can really turn things in the favor of Vice.
Just worried that it feels like it's... I mean, the mech's going to come out soon, but where's he going to be able to get the farm to get the pipe? Like, it's just taking too long. In Your Dream, this is pretty difficult to get the kill. They're going to try and drop the RP. Where's the follow-up? Let's see if he can give him the space. They'll drag back with Laguna Blade. They're going to be able to bring him down. Okay. Does he get the Blade Mail or the Manta off? And now Dire, do they want to still take the fight? Ice coming over, drops the vac. Doesn't have enough mana for the wall, but looks like they get the Storm Spirit with the combo. Radiant, they lose 2 heroes instantly. Phoenix not wanting to try and commit the supernova there with already 2 heroes dropping to start. And now they're in trouble because they know they TP down to try and kill off the Spectre, so they're kind of stuck here. Ice already dropping the wall.
They pins it in. Heroes either side of them, they're just trapped.
They see Paulus at the moment. Eats the Remnant. Arfu. Arrow's going to fly with the Fire Blast. Let's see if the Sunray's going to be enough to keep him alive. Arbed's going to try and cancel out the Sunray, but it doesn't matter as Life still pays the price to get the Usept on top of the mag as well. So he's just going to be an extra hero falling in the grave here. They'll drop the Supernova, which is just Arfu at the moment. But, I mean, that's just an ulti force, unfortunate for Zenki. They don't get nothing out of it.
You know what would have helped there?
What would help? The
Pipe.
pipe?
He's got a 4 stuff now on the Phoenix, which, like, I get it. It feels like so many of the deaths that they've had are also
lane?
more action happening mid.
Storm, he's in trouble here. Tried to go aggressive with the Orchid on top of the Ogre, but that's not really the perfect target. And now In Your Dream's even going to show up with the Haunt as well. He's got a dagger up in a couple of seconds, so should be able to continue with the dive. And there's nothing really that Lean is able to do.
With that 4 stuff, it'll disrupt a lot of this aggression that they're trying to have. Like, how many times have we had, you know, Abed into Ogre stun, into Mirana stun, into Vacuum, you know? That's happened over and over and over again. So if you're able to just reposition that so it's not going to happen, things might turn out differently. But I feel like that's such a niche situation that a pipe is just always going to be good.
See, Lifestealer trying to force out the rage early on. They can kite the fight back. I mean, they don't have the Haunt available, so I'm actually trying to surprise that they're still sticking around at the moment. And yeah, they're gonna back off. So what's Palos got? He's got Armlet, Deso, 1k gold in the bank, working on the Skadi top lane. Bob trying to find the kill on Polar. But now it looks like with the Lotus Orb arrow set up here, and Storm is going to end up falling with a perfect chain lockdown with the Vac at the end. Just Ice is TPing in. Has that Lotus Orb to get rid of the Orchid, and is still see if they can get the kill at least. But I mean, they need some revenge though. They're just getting picked off across the map and not really making them pay for it. As where's the detection coming through now? Apollo gets the leap away. Another 1-2. They'll drop the dust. Does find the connection. Ice. Not really able to do too much there. They're coming over. Like Arfu's running. Need a little bit more than just the Ogre, considering the Spectre can't join them, and Abed isn't there as well. So it looks like he's just putting some pressure on the bottom tier 2 tower. Really just, you see how Vice, they have not left their side of the map, like constantly through like, honestly, like 3 minutes in this game, Were just playing underneath the tier 1 mid as Arfu's just going to walk up the high ground. Doesn't even give a damn, honestly. Like, look how tanky he feels. He's like, alright, you want to try and kill me? I got 2k HP with the Glimmer as well. They're going to zip forward. Bob trying to find Arbed, but he's got a Ursept to be able to get out of the Orchid now. And Root drops out that RP. Vac's going to give him some space, but it's not enough. That's a big kill. They want more Bloodhound with the drag back. Ogre chucked out the Lotus Orb on top of Arfu, but he'll still pay the price. Although, oh my god, Bob takes so much damage.
This could be a Roche, though. You've got the Desolator on the Lifestealer. Now's the time to do it. 2 heroes down. I don't think they can spend the time just continuing to farm the jungle.
Yeah, this feels like a game where you kind of have to make kind of a play like that. Where they should be able to get it, honestly.
Well, probably not anymore, to be honest. Like, they've missed their timing, and you can see from Team Dog, they know that that is the play to make. They scan the Roche pit just to see if they're there, and they're probably going to be very happy that that's not the case.
The creep eats the arrow. In Your Dream was trying to come over, be forcing some rotations, but well, at least Radiant do, you know, bite back a little bit. Lifesteal is now taking over the top of the net worth. We do see though the rest of the cores, like your position for Mirana is ahead of your position to Storm, and the fact that somehow Arfu is this farmed, you know, being a part of.
I didn't even notice that.
Know,
How is
like,
Bob
what?
so far down?
I mean, 11 deaths, that says one thing. like it's been a rough game, to say the least. And he might be the target once again. They're just continuing to hunt. Ice is just playing so aggressive right now with the drag back. Arbed, he's got the Aghanims, and that's just another kill. Now he's going to try and hunt for more. Zenki's already used the dive. They're inside the base. The Force going to give him some little bit of extra positioning. He'll drop the Supernova. And even underneath the tier 4 towers, they don't give a damn. They get rid of the Fire Spirit. Meanwhile, top, Arfu just solo kills the lead of this game. It's just getting even crazier as well, they find Palos, but he's going to be able to TP out. So that's just Team Dog is styling.
He's doing his classic item drops as well, just to try, you know, say, oh, you sure you want to TP out, buddy? But they're very happy on Team Dog. Even before that fight, the 95% win probability went to 96, and I would say now it is higher. Yeah, 98, and probably when it updates one more time, it's going to be even worse.
Rated, they're coming over to try and offer a defense here, but they've got to be careful because the backline just might get picked. As Lifesteal is very far on the front line, the first silence, can they follow up? Nice RP, but Arbed is able to dodge it with the Dissimulate, so there's no follow-up at the moment, but the Infest gets him a little bit of space, and Rue's going to try and steal away Arfu, but the big target is, where's the rest of the respawn coming through?
Double stun!
Stop, they're going to be careful with the drag back, it's a lot of damage here with the back. In Your Dreams, not going to be able to turn it now. Nice respawns coming through, they'll find 3 into 4 as well, as Arfu's going to get dragged down. No multicast, unfortunately. So with the
Hey, the pig in the
reinforcements,
roche.
let's
Let's
go.
go.
That's a big swing. 3,600 gold. Now they're even going to be able to get the Aegis as well. You see the damage is coming through. It was a really nice fight there from the lifesteal and just kind of the drag back.
Arrow. There's one of the benefits of having 2 strength here is that sun ray. Nice and healthy again.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Courier. Ice.
Your Shan
Trying to
has
steal the
fallen
Aegis,
to
Cap.
the Radiant.
So is that a Skadi? Yep, Skadi finished up on the lifestealer. So no, nice few items coming through for him. And with that, Storm Spirit has overtaken the Marana, so little wins.
Dire's top
Little
tower
wins,
is under
silver
attack.
linings. I mean, what's the probability drop down to? Let's see, 93.
93.
Alright,
So
they're
you're
gonna go
saying
forward.
there's a chance. Abed? He's gonna
There might be even more of a chance here. It's the LSA. Bob's going to drag it back into the Laguna Blade. Abed. He himself has also got quite a number of deaths on the Void Spirit. 8, 7, and 11. So trying to match the deaths right now on both the Spirit Brothers. And Diet looks like they're posturing to maybe defend this though. They really don't want to give away the tier 1 mid with how important it is, considering they're already able to control it. Back, drag back, Andrew. Nice juice. Going to be able to cancel this skewer away. He's still be able to get it off, and now with this supernova on top of the river, I mean, it looks like Bob needs some catch potential. He's going to try and zip forward. Yeah, Mirana's going to get caught out here. So a decent supernova forces them back to make sure they couldn't continue with the aggression on top of the Magnus. They're still
Should be
sticking
able to take
around.
this. Yeah, before Abed's alive, they can just back off, maybe get some of these tier 3 items. Will they be able to catch the Phoenix in time? Nope, 4
Radiant's
staffs
bottom
away.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're still going to get an Observer Ward for their troubles, though. Now, I don't want to be a broken record, but Zenki, you've got 2,300 gold. You got to spend it on something. I still feel like it's early enough that a pipe is going to be very effective.
He's got the Lotus Orb queued up at the moment. But
It's alright. I don't mind the Lotus Orb.
I mean, I guess it's just the Fire Blast, what you get rid of the Silence and the Void Spirit.
Yep.
About all, and the armor's relatively okay. I mean, even then, it's not really going to do much the extra armor, honestly. Radiant. Smoke up. Andrew, he's got this RP, so looking to drop it on our bed
Radiant's
with the
bottom
fault
tower is under
stun lock
attack.
from the Lina. Our bed, gotta be careful here. Didn't have vision up on that high ground. They're actually trying to link up top where the lane's getting shoved in, and they've also got a Phoenix here as well, who's trying to find some of the neutral items.
We're on Bob watch right now. He's nearly overtaken the Void Spirit, and surprisingly enough, they're basically neck and neck in terms of their experience. Just shy of reaching that level
Radiant's
18.
bottom tower
You'd have to
is
say that
under
the Storm
attack.
Spirit is the one that benefits a lot more from that, just the increased movement speed of the zip itself.
Happening at the moment. Our bed's just hitting a tier 2 tower. But you
Radiant's
just
bottom
have
tower
a
has
Void
fallen.
Spirit taking a tier 2 without a care in the world. Afu might be in a bit of trouble here. I mean, he's got the rest of the team coming over. He's going to skew it, drag them further away from them. They've got the higher ground, but it looks like without that combo to
Radiant's
start,
bottom tower
Ogre's going to
is
get
under
punished. And, I
attack.
mean, this is a BKB now completed from the Storm, so it is going to give him a lot extra survivability. Let's see if they can, chain lock him down as Arbed goes in. They don't find the proper initiation on Mag, who still has his RP to be able to utilize, so they're going to be careful if they group up and they can double back here with the combo.
Value for stuff there, dodging out the arrow. I never doubted it. So, getting very close to the level 20 as well on the lifesteal, which is going to be pretty handy. Are they buying any MKB on the Spectre just yet? No. So he's just gone for the full stats. So I wonder if he's going to opt for the evasion or if it's just going to go for the open wounds instead. I feel like they've got a decent amount of healing already just from this this Phoenix coming through.
Already all the abilities maxed out. He's getting closer and closer towards level 18 as well for Zenki, which is going to be pretty important. Just that level 3 in the egg, increase in the attacks to destroy, which is already going to be pretty difficult considering with how Vice can defend it with, the RP, LSA, storm jumping.
It's happened, by the way, Ares. They are on the enemy team's side of the map.
Are scanning.
Well, it's literally felt like the past
Dire's
25
top
minutes they
tower
haven't
is
been able to
under
get
attack.
over.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Big circle being drawn on the other side of the map. They're like, oh, okay, well, there's this other side of the map that we can play on.
Like, Nice. Smoke it up, not really getting anything. I mean, they shove the lanes in, mid, bot, getting pushed out. They get a Courier, which would have the Glimmer, the Tome as well, so that's going to feel pretty nice, actually.
Some big value. Secondary smoke coming out. Infested inside of Bob is our Lifestealer. He's TPing all the way back, so has to be a little bit careful about being split up here. We've got the Phoenix and the Lina kind of in no man's land right now. Trying to have a pincer maneuver happening. Who are they going to catch out? Abed's priority number 1.
Spectre's got this horn potential to join them as well. See how they're going to start. Zip in. Bob's going to try and attempt this. Aegis is going to tick out though with the haunt. They're going to be careful. Supernova in a relatively good spot. And now with the RP, has he got juice just yet? It's on to all the illusions with the backline. Going to try and bring down Arbed with Laguna Blade. Will be successful. Now the Supernova stuns up in your dream as well. He haunts into the middle of the fight. Not really going to be able to utilize it all. Although Zenki's still getting ticked down to the dispersion. But the cost of 3 heroes on Team Dog. And all of a sudden, this game it's a massive swing now. They've only got a 2,000 net worth lead. And we're seeing Radiant. I mean, that Supernova just directly dropped down in the middle. The RP didn't do much, but now the fights are really working in their favor.
I'll correct you there. The RP did nothing. It hit nobody, but it's kind of like the Enigma Black Hole, right? It's the threat of the RP that's just as effective as the RP itself. I was talking in the draft about, potentially they could have rounded things out with a Treant Protector just because of how effective it is with the Supernova. RP fulfills very much the same sort of niche, and now they're pushing forward. Luckily enough, they do have buybacks if they want to use them, but do you really?
Dip in, Bog, protected with the Glimmer, and Brew's going to skewer him away, so Ogre's just down, no buyback.
He just respawned as well.
Oh, they get the arrow just after the rage, but again, they don't have the heroes, and the objectives are getting shredded thanks to Palos with the Orb Destruction and the Desolator as well. You got to keep in mind, I mean, Radiant, their ultimates, they're still on cooldown, but they recognize how strong they are at the moment.
They just got to book it out of here ASAP. They're going to try their best to catch him up. He's got for the Arcane Rune. That's the main priority. And
if they can jump him.
Bob. Bit of a fake back.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Level 20 is quite nice to have as well here on the Storm Spirit. Right now, it's just about maximizing the effectiveness of that Electric Vortex. Looks like he's going into the Bloodstone. I don't know how I feel about that. If it was me, I would be going into the Aghanim Scepter on this Storm Spirit. It's so much more that makes you need to be worried about these teamfight capabilities turning around on you. And there's no BKBs right now on Team Dog's side. You can see Abed, he's got a sheep stick queued up. So he's not worried about that at all.
They're coming over. They don't have everyone at the moment. They don't have the haunts as well. Supernova instantly getting dropped and dying. They need to disengage. Where's the stuns, Bob? Already used a lot of mana here, okay? I mean, Dire, they smoke up, but you do force out that Supernova there and some rotations out from Radiant. So let's see if they're going to Moonlight now. This is the perfect value coming out of the Mirana.
It was underneath an Observer Ward though, so they know exactly where it's coming. They're just going to be grouping around these stairs right on the high points so that it pops immediately. All the sentries getting dropped right now as well.
See with the positioning, scan on the mark. Well aware of this. I bet if he wants to leave forward to start, they can even jumping as well. I mean, he's got the Arcane to keep in mind.
Bob's keen. He was pump faking his ball lightning, but just gets scouted out by that dagger there, so he's going to be a little bit more careful.
And just constantly scouting out arrow to fly as well, but they get the vision now with the Lifestealer. Trying to chain lock him down with the RP off to the side. Finds a couple with the drag back on top of the wall as well. Two's going to instantly fall. Arbet joins him as well. In your dream, going to try and take with the backline for the Infest bonus health. Is it enough to keep the lane alive? It doesn't matter, but the damage is not there at the moment. Look at the dispersion, actually. The Blade Mail. Lifestealer pretty much just kills himself, and now Bob has to zip away. Oh man, Arbet, he does buy back. They get the multicast, and now Storm's in trouble. Ice. They find it. Enver, Skewer in. They got a couple of buybacks here. I mean, it's just Zenki and the Magnus, so the damage isn't there. And now Arbet showing back up after the buyback. They want Zenki as well. But get inside with the vac, never mind. Ice, the multicast once again. They all have buyback from Radiant. But that is a massive fight from Dire. It looked like a horrible start, that RP drag back, but man, Spectre just, the Blade Mail Dispersion just did so much work.
It's almost like it's a brainless hero. No, I'm kidding. But it's very good teamfight cohesion together, and it just shows the power of not having one of your big teamfight winners. That Supernova, you would have to say, has won them their past 2 teamfights that have gone in Vice's favor. This time around, Team Dog obviously realizing how effective it's been for them, playing around it, immediate smoke up, and a little bit unfortunate that the Lifesteal was already on about half HP by standing just a little bit too far forward on the low ground, so getting caught out towards the start of that fight.
And there's a Hex now picked up as well from Ice, so just further giving them this initiation, I guess, the instant catch, locking down the Storm, you know, the life steal before the Rage, so it's gonna be very, very nice for them, considering, you know, they got a decent amount of stuns, but just that instant is the important thing about the Hex at the moment.
How are the buybacks looking at the moment? We've got all of them except for Abed. He just used one quite recently, and he's got the Aeon disc ready to come out to him as well. Just a little bit short on money, about 200 gold away.
Here we go. Roshan's up.
They're infested inside Enryu.
Abed's got to be... I mean, he doesn't have vision at the moment, and now with the backpack, they get the Hex, the multicast as well. They're just going to be able to bring down the Storm. Oh no. And they're instantly going to beeline towards the rest of the team. Abed's going to be pretty careful, but inside Silence finding 3. Let's see if they can continue with the fight forward. Similarly, he's actually stuck on the high ground at the moment. He's going to actually step back up in a couple of seconds, but the LSA holding back. And Mule sets up for this Remnant. Mag still has the RP if he can even get it off. Now with the Infest bonus health, the Supernova's on the low ground. Dream has this movement speed, but it looks like they're going to try and disengage. Buyback forced out for the Mag. Storm Spirit still holding his at the moment. It's a lot of ultimates used though from Radiant. No RP, no Supernova now. Actually, apologies, he does have the RP. The Supernova being down. And Dive got very good vision at the moment, so they're all seeing Radiant. They might lead back in actually with the Ogre Magi. They get the follow-up with the Silence now with the chain lockdown. And Rue's going to try and disrupt this with the RP, but he eats Yarrow now with the backline. Pellet's going to try and turn the buyback for the Storm Spirit. Mag's going to end up dropping, and they have this Haunt as well to try and deal with the backline. Storms it forward, but it looks like Spectre just wants to hunt through the Life Stealer. He won't be able to have the control, so turns attention, try and deal with Lena. Bob's going to give him some space, but it doesn't matter. The BKB, they just don't have any targets to really lock in place. He uses all his mana, and that buyback for nothing as Vice, they lose 3. Yes, Lifestealer keeps his life, but we're just seeing these the past fights where Radiant have really thrived is, like you said, the Supernova paying off drastically, and the fact that Dire could reset and then kind of get grouped up, go back in, and
look at this Dire vision. Look at where all of their wards are. It's just this surrounded little, I don't know what you want to call that, like a rhombus of vision that they've got here.
Just the understanding, literally, like Dive tried to control this triangle for the entirety of the game, knowing that the Mag life still wants to be farming the Ancients. And I mean, now what do we got? We got Cheese on Void Spirit, not holding the Ages. They give that to Spectre, who's almost level 25.
Yeah. So it's going to be even harder. They've got the repair kit, so they're going to be able to delay things a little bit. They're just praying that they can delay the game until this RP is back up online, but they're going to lose at least one lane of racks in that time.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom
Meanwhile,
tower
looks like Palace going to do whatever he can to try and shove up the side lanes, but
he's doing the right thing. I think you kind of have to go for the all-or-nothing play. Yeah, he buys up the Reavers, so that means no buyback for him when he does come back and rejoin the fight, but I don't think he's going to be all that keen to do that until this Mag has RP available again.
It's going to be up in 20 seconds here. In your dream, you see the buffs they're giving him. Bloodlust, you know, they got that Solar Crest as well, the Greaves, there's a Lotus Orb, there's just everything getting chucked out on this Spectre, and it's a 17,000 net worth lead at the moment. They just get a tier 3 tower. They're going to try and back off, reset. They do have some objectives coming up in about a minute with the bounties and also the outpost as well, where they have double control.
Spell Prism as well. Oof. Gets sent back, actually. You would hope that Abed's going to be picking that one up.
Have Radiant got a gem? They don't. Ice.
They had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob died with it. And he's got the Mango's backpack, so if he ever does need to do the old buyback zip in, he can consume those as he's going and maybe go for the burst amount of damage, but it just feels like he's still waiting for all of those big items to come through. Obviously, he's still got that Bloodstone that's next on the priority list for him, but just feels like this could have been very different if he had the Ag Scepter.
Let's see if Dire are going to answer with the smoke instantly to head down to the bottom outpost. So they want to let them have it. The only issue is that they haven't been there in the past, what, 15, 20 seconds. So good chance that Radiant have already been able to get set up and drop some vision. Pop the Moonlight. Yeah, they get the jump up. Radiant kind of playing towards the eastern side more, actually away from that high ground ward. They do have one at least scouting out the river.
And they got a little bit of experience as well, so Lifestealer creeping
look at the jump forward. They
all.
find the Magnus. It's away from the rest of the team as well. Arrow, perfect timing. Mag's going to end up falling. Doesn't have a buyback down with the jump on top of the backline. They found the Phoenix. both incredibly important heroes for their team fight. Zenki at least does have a buyback, but the mag is down 60 seconds, no buyback.
Bob manages to make their way back, though. The good thing is they kind of push them further and further away from the base, continuing to push the wave in. With that zip as well, I believe it took out an entire creep wave, save for the siege creep. So nicely done there by Bob to realize the priority that Team Dog would be going for.
There's a refresher orb now, even picked up as well for the Ice Darks here, so just continuing to... I mean, now you have this double potential of just a hex, honestly, for the control, and that should be enough. But they still got the Aegis for another minute 30 here. Seeing In Your Dream has even got the... the Satanic. What's coming out on the Cory?
That is a leveler coming through. Or In Your Dream, why not?
Hasn't completed the Abyssal just yet, but look at him just siege. They dropped the repair kit. Palace bashed up once. Gotta be careful because the Rage is about to expire here. The Sky is still as well. He's actually in trouble. LSA is gonna hold them back. Storm's gonna try and deal with the creep wave, but no, he eats the Hex! Oh. The Storm doesn't have buyback, and that's massive for them. They do have the combo up though. Mag, RP, Phoenix, Supernova. Without the Storm, it's gonna be pretty difficult though, because he forces them to group up, and now with the multicast they're in. Palace gonna be able to dip. They drop the wall. Arrow's actually gonna clip on the Lina. See Enru trying to find the angle. Let's see if he can go forward. Drops the RP, but an instant Scepter cancels out the ulti now with the backline. Arbed, perfect placement with that Aether Remnant. Phoenix just dives directly into it. And a nice attempt though, but just the quick fingers with the Yules, the backline play. And now that's going to be a full set of racks and just trapping them inside the bases.
Yeah, look at these. Oh, ridiculous. He actually had to TP out just so that he could get through without giving them an illusion to be able to fight with.
A little bit of damage here, but they don't have the control at the moment. You see Arbed gets out. Almost end up falling there, but he popped the cheese now with the Supernova as well. They're going to be able to turn to deal with it. They didn't get many targets with the Fire Spirits, and now Polo just shreds it down. Lifesteal is in trouble as well. Pops Rage, but the Bash is coming out. The Age is going to end up ticking, but Radiant just not having the numbers to hold this higher ground defense. I mean, Lena's going to buy back. They get the Fork of the Haunt as well on top of the Lifestealer. No buyback available, and it looks like finally Team Dog, they're even going to try and make sure just the price to pay
the dispersion.
Here.
Yeah, they were kind of toying with their food a little bit at the end there, and yeah, a convincing win, it has to be said. They brought it back a little bit to around the 75% win probability, when it was sitting at 95 plus for quite a while due to a couple of nice team fights, but yeah, just the execution coming through from Team Dog. They flick the switch and they say, all right guys, let's end this game.
Yeah, I mean, just the understanding of how they needed to really pressure the early game was just, I guess this is the experience and just kind of the, execution with being able to have, Ice communicating and a team where they have a lot of kind of star players, understanding how this is a lineup where you've got a mag. You really just want to try and be farming up the jungle as much as possible and really utilizing that in power. And Team Dog is just like, we're not going to give you a chance. Literally, it felt like Vice couldn't leave their side of the map until like 30 minutes into the game. Like, it was a ridiculous amount of time that they were just stuck in a very small portion where they did a good job in a couple of fights where we really saw some of the power of the Phoenix and some decent ultimates as well in the target prioritization. But in the end, Team Dog, just that vision advantage around the triangle and how they're able to kind of play this game was too strong.
Yeah. Look it up inside of build. He's got 2 Desolators. 1 for each hand.
I guess when it's that stage, you're like, all right, let's just die the fountain. Let's buy a couple of Desos. Let's just mess around. They were feeling pretty comfortable throughout it all. We even saw Ice still in the classic old, dropped a couple items, but this is a game where Team Dog just able to take it. It took a little bit longer. We saw that probability super high early on, but in the end, they're going to be able to take map 1 here, 43 minutes in. So we'll see if Vice are going to be able to try and even up the series or if they're going to end up falling to Team Dog. But we'll take a short break with game 2 right around the corner.